Good afternoon, and welcome to Brunch and Budget on Bonfire Radio with your host, Pamela Capalit, a certified financial planner here to help take the bite out of your budget. Brunchandbudget.com. I'm your sound provider, Dialect, and here's your host, Pamela Capalit.
Thank you, Dialect, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Happy Sunday. It is a special weekend in Bushwick today where we are broadcasting from. It is Bushwick Open Studios. I think it's like the 7th year now.
Bushwick Open Studios,
Yes.
lots of their own, I don't know, yeah.
Yeah. There's
for a
bands and
while.
art and people walking the streets. It's a good time.
People are painting on the walls. We got sculptures beneath us.
You know. It's a beautiful Sunday, and we have a awesome guest in the studio today, Sherita Rankins. She is a blogger at BusyWifeBusyLife, and also, everybody take a breath, model, actress, host, director of finance at a nonprofit, and somehow finds time to blog about food, fashion, and finance. Woo!
Wait, how many jobs was that? Was that
Like
3
all
jobs?
of them?
I'm not Jamaican, but I do have tons of jobs. Yes.
Oh, man, and I had so many good Sherita Rankins jokes.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are very excited. So today we are going to talk to Sherita about how she does it all, from how to be a successful blogger, productivity tips, eating well, dressing well, and saving money all at the same time.
Which I do.
Yes.
Somehow.
Write about it. Great.
Yes.
Telling us your secrets today. I'm so excited.
I guess you can't keep all the good tips to yourself. At some point, you have to share them with the rest of the world. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. And if you guys want to check her out right now, BusyWifeBusyLife.com. It's a beautiful site. There's lots of stuff going on. So let's just start at the beginning, though. What is your background? What came first, and how did all these other things kind of fall into place?
Well, I'm originally from Detroit, and I started modeling when I was 15 years old. I was, dare I say, a pageant queen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But from the income that I made from modeling, I started investing at a very young age.
Wow.
Yes.
So you didn't just spend it on clothes and stuff.
I bought clothes, yes, but I tried to save it as well. And my investing is what got me interested in finance. So when I went to college, I decided to major in finance while I was still modeling. At the same time, I went to Loyola University in Chicago. And I decided when I was done with school that I didn't really want to pursue a finance career per se. That I had other dreams. So I moved to New York City.
Whoa.
No job, no apartment. I packed up my 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago. Luckily, I had a friend who let me stay with her for 3 weeks, and I found an agent.
Wow.
I found a roommate, and I just hit the ground running. I did end up starting to work in finance part-time in different companies, and while still modeling, which ended up started to be acting, which started to be hosting. So every
Wow.
You never know the opportunities that come to you in this great city. And after a while, I just realized that, so about 7 years ago, I started working as director of finance of a nonprofit while still doing all this. And last year, I was like, I have all this knowledge. I feel like I need to put it down on paper, per se.
Wow.
And that's what I decided to start the blog.
So you just started blogging last year?
Yes, my blog will be 1 year old in September. September 2nd will be my blog-iversary, I call it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Congratulations! That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
I mean, if you guys look at the site, it looks like you've been blogging like your whole freaking life.
Well,
There's
I'm
so
one of-
much content on here. It's
I
amazing.
am one of those, I guess, anal retentive people that feel like when you're going to do something, you should do it right.
Word.
So I did not want to just throw a site up and be like, oh, I'll get it together eventually.
Yeah.
No, because you want people to take you seriously. You want to feel like you've invested. If people are going to invest time reading your site, you want your site to look like you've invested time making it.
I
Word to that.
love that.
Yes.
Yes, you put in as much effort as you want the people to give effort back.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So-
Do you remember, I have to ask, do you remember what the first thing you invested in was?
I bought stock in Abercrombie and Fitch.
Whoa.
Yes,
Okay.
this was a long time ago.
Yep.
And it actually
Back when they wouldn't let you stock the shelves.
Yeah.
Oh, when they would make you stock the shelves.
that and Estee Lauder were my two first stock purchases
nice.
that I chose.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's the things that you don't think about that Estee Lauder, they own tons of cosmetic companies.
Yeah.
And you want to invest in things that you know about. If you're starting off, I feel like.
Yeah,
If you have an investment manager or someone who's guiding you, then of course take their advice, because you may not know about the companies that you're investing in. That's what they're there for, to give you advice. But if you're starting out, you want to be able to relate to the products. If you're buying it, then obviously you have a connection with the company, and that's how I feel like if someone's starting out investing, they should look to companies that they know about and not just pick these buzz companies that people say.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna invest in Xerox. Great. Like, do you know anything about the business? No, I know they have copy machines. Well, like, yeah, so that kind of thing. You want to feel like you can follow the trends. You know what the market's doing in those industries, so that kind of thing. Yeah.
I love that. So because it sounded like you invested in fashion because you were in fashion.
Yes.
That makes sense. So that's great advice for the first-time investor. I feel like so many people are afraid of the idea of investing. It's like, no, you shop at the places that you can invest in.
Yes.
So just start there.
Right, and you can also read my How to Start Investing 101, which has some great advice from my financial advisor on how to start investing, if you're going to have a managed account, or if you want to do it on your own, which is totally acceptable as well. I don't like to give investment advice. I just like to guide people down the path so they can make educated decisions.
Right. I love that. So I will post that up in the show notes, you guys, the link to How to Start Investing 101. So what does a typical day look like for you?
Oh, goodness. So my day, I don't really have a typical day because sometimes I don't know what I'm doing until the phone rings in the morning.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Life of a model and actress, too.
So my day fluctuates. So I may have a plan on what I think I'm doing that day, but that is most likely going to change.
Word to that. What's the thing about making God laugh?
Yeah, don't make plans. Yeah. So generally, I might have castings in the morning. I try to which is difficult, but I try to put my castings in the morning or at my lunch break, just so I can have a little, like a schedule of some sort.
Yeah.
So I'm not running around the city like a crazy lady. So I may go to a casting in the morning, or I may go to my office in the morning. And then vice versa, if I'm going to a casting in the morning, I go to my office. And so I work part-time at my nonprofit. It's called the American Australian Association. And luckily, I've been blessed to have my office be very close to my home.
Oh,
so
nice.
Please don't hate me, but I have a 4-minute commute to work.
Oh,
so
it's like a block away or something?
It's
two city blocks.
Yeah. So luckily though, but that's been a plus with regards to me being so productive, because if I have to run home and get something, if I'm at work and I'm looking very professional, and then they say you need to show up to a casting and looking like you're going to the beach, obviously I need to run home and get some shorts. So having my home be so close to my job has allowed me the flexibility of running back and forth without wasting a lot of time. I'll say.
This is like a really interesting best of both worlds situation. It's
Yes.
like you're a freelancer and get to create your own schedule, but you have this part-time job that gives you the flexibility to do that, but also the stability of the job.
Exactly.
Well, also sounds like a lot of intentionality, that you didn't just accidentally end up 2 blocks away from your job.
Honestly, though, when I started at the company, they were on 53rd Street. I live in the financial district. And during the interview, they said, we're actually moving downtown. And I was like, where? And they said, oh, to the financial district. I said, I'll take it. Like it was my choice to say, I'm taking this job. I didn't even wait for them to offer it to me.
Best attitude to go into.
I mean, isn't that how you get the job?
So it was fate. It was a little fate. So I typically try to. I work to about 5 or 6 o'clock, depending upon what's going on. Whether if it's a booking, those typically end around 6 o'clock, or I leave my office. I try to make it to the gym sometime during the day at some point. Lord. That's
a whole other set of priorities, right?
And then I'll be honest, I try to make it home by 7 because I watch Jeopardy every night with my husband.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's kind of our thing. I guess that's the nerd part of me. Like, I tweet to Jeopardy when I don't like the answer they've given. They say, Alex comes back, we've double checked and we'll go ahead and say this is acceptable. And I'm like, no, it's not. So I cook dinner. I try to cook dinner as much as I can. A lot of times I'm cooking just for myself, but sometimes I'm also cooking for my blog. I don't put everything I cook on my blog. Sometimes I'll start cooking. I'm like, this is going to be great. So then I end up making it a blog meal.
Oh, okay. So you don't cook for the blog always?
Not always. No, I cook for me. And then sometimes this is for the blog, because I'll be honest, my kitchen isn't always spotless, so you can't always take a photo. I'm just keeping it real. So
true.
So if everything aligns properly, I'll get at least 1 to 2 meals a week that I try to cook for the blog. The rest of my cooking is just for
For you and your husband?
Just for my tummy. Yeah.
Just for you. I mean, I feel like you got to keep it like that when it comes to food. You can't always have the food part be a job, right?
Right, exactly. Because I enjoy cooking, which is a huge shock to my mother because I grew
and
up,
every New Yorker right now.
And luckily I do have the kitchen to cook in. But I grew up making salads, like not even interesting salads, like just cucumber, tomato, and iceberg lettuce, and that was my contribution to our nightly dinners. And when I got to college, I started gaining weight because the food was so fattening. Because
it sure was.
Yes.
That freshman 15 is real.
Exactly. So I realized that I was going to have to try to make some meals that was like my mom quality meals, is what I used to say.
Wow.
And
mom quality meals. I dig that.
Love it.
So, and I started cooking and I loved it. And it's kind of just gone from there. I watch cooking shows all the time. So now I say I make restaurant quality meals. So I've upgraded myself. Yes. My husband, I like going out to dinner a lot. My husband says, "Why do we need to go out to dinner? Your food's delicious." So it's like a double-edged sword right there. It's like I've created my own like little disaster at home where I can't really escape my own cooking because apparently it's just
really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, yeah, you should stay and do that. I don't have a CFP, but Dialect does have a food handler's license, and restaurant quality meals is actually a sad and scary sight to see. I don't think. I figure if you got mom quality meals, then restaurant quality meals are far in the rear view.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's some scary. I mean, thank goodness they started grading these restaurants.
Okay. Well, when I say so, I guess maybe I'll qualify. I'm a fine dining person, so my restaurant quality meals are like,
I see. Yeah.
Chilean sea bass poached in olive oil.
Yeah, like what was the last thing?
Yeah, so those
on your salmon. I don't even know how to say that word.
My salmon niçoise salad.
Niçoise. I was gonna say Nicoeasy.
My salmon. I will say that
that is delicious.
I love my husband's from Alaska, so
he's from Alaska. Like he grew up in Alaska.
He's an Alaskan man.
Right.
So he gets very picky with his salmon. So when it's not in season, which now is Alaskan salmon is in season, but when it's not in season, you kind of have to do some extra stuff to the salmon because the farmed salmon doesn't have as much flavor. The good Alaskan salmon, all you need is a simple preparation, and the fish will speak for itself. This salad I made with just a farm salmon. So I roasted it in caper oil. I put the anchovy, lemon, Dijon vinaigrette over it with whole grain mustard. That's my new thing. Whole grain mustard.
I love it. Y'all can find this recipe on her site. How do you say it? Salmon niçoise.
Salmon niçoise. It's French.
Salmon niçoise salad.
You typically find niçoise salads made with tuna.
Okay.
But tuna gets boring sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Word.
change it up.
Salmon's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you blog every other day. You go to your job every day. You have castings every day. How do you prioritize what needs to get done?
Well, I say that I use certain tools. So it's a cross between organizing my life and deciding what's important. So I use
like Jeopardy every night is a must.
That's important. If
love that.
I can't make it, then it's okay. I'm not gonna cry. I didn't get home in time. But you have to set your day up. So I use my calendar app is one of my most important tools. I put everything in my calendar.
What app do you use?
I use Business Calendar. It's called.
Oh, okay, cool.
It allows me. So I've set up separate email accounts to separate my life. So I have a blog email account. I have my work email account. I have a personal account. I actually have a different account for my modeling career versus my acting and hosting career because those are two different contacts that are getting in touch with me. So I use that app and I put everything in, and it's all color coded, so I know what my day looks like. I know where I need to be, and when I say everything, like if my husband and I are meeting for drinks, I put that in the calendar. I text it to him, or if I have a friend in town, so that way I'm not forgetting anything. I'm not getting caught up. But it's also about, like I said, knowing what's important. If I look at my day and they say, "Oh, do you want to get together for dinner next week or something?" and I have like 5 things on my calendar, I'm gonna say no, because it's about one thing about being productive is also learning to say no. Sometimes you can't be everywhere every time,
which is
and
so
doing
hard.
You can't even though I try to, you cannot do everything. So I think that's my saving grace as well, kind of just being able to put people off. They understand. I mean, sometimes you have to make time for yourself. Sometimes you have to make time for people. So it's a balance between those two.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to make time for yourself and make time for people.
Yes.
Yeah. And so how do you say no gracefully?
Well, I think one of the things about saying no is providing people with the reason why you're saying no. I can't make it because, and I know it sounds like an excuse, but just flat out saying no, I think people get a little turned off. Like, you know, I'm really busy today, or I have an important meeting in the morning, or it's going to be a long day for me because I have X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
So kind of just giving people the parameters of so they can understand, okay, I don't want to exhaust her, or she's not going to be good company after 12-hour shoot, and then proposing another time. That's a good.
So it's no, but
no.
Yeah, it's
I like
turning it's taking a no and turning it into a yes and.
Yes, I love it.
I can't make it today because I have 8 meetings, but we can meet for lunch next Tuesday if that works for you. So it's that kind of puts the ball in their court, and then they can get back to you at their leisure, and you can kind of figure out if it's all going to work out.
Right, right. Oh, I love it. Yeah, because I feel like that's the biggest thing, especially as a freelancer, just the idea of, 1, feeling like you're going to miss out.
Yes.
And 2, not wanting to like offend anyone.
Exactly.
Because I feel like a lot of things that people face as freelancers is you always have time, right? You make your own schedule. You can do whatever you want.
You can, but because you make your own schedule, you have to fit everything in. You have to find time to make money, to socialize, to find time.
Yes.
So it's not like I'm making my own schedule. Like, oh, I'm gonna have lunch at 2. I'm gonna go to the gym at 3. I'm gonna get my nails done at 4. No, that's the lady of leisure. That's not a freelancer.
Good distinction.
Yes.
Good distinction.
Yes.
Yes. Freelancers do work.
Yes. And a lot of times I blog sometimes late night because I work, but I may have non-traditional hours as well. So I think that's important for the company you keep to understand that you may not be available the time that they like to do things. So you know, like I don't really take early morning meetings because I may be up late, but that works for me. So it's all about, you know, finding the time to do the things that you need to do would work with your schedule. Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So we're going to go to a song.
Yeah.
And right after this, I want to talk more about the blog. I think it's amazing you haven't even done it for a year. It's so robust.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're going to go to another multitasker that we rock with. This lady is an educator, an entrepreneur, as well as MC. Why don't you listen to, she feels that she's part of the last of a dying breed. The song is called Endangered Species by MC Nejma Shea. So check her out. Brunch and Budget, Bonfire Radio.
An endangered species. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my being, my creation, my universe, my nature, and my world. For everything that exists anywhere. Fighting for mine, fighting for mine, fighting for mine, fighting for mine. Yes, I'm fighting for my existence. I see it in the distance. Living a hard means of subsistence. Hear the persistence of the sound of my followers echoing the cries. Leading masses rise, more for exercise. Carefully consider wise. Cross my eyes as Obama accepts the peace prize while Afghanistan dies. They say it's so hard to say goodbyes. That's why I can't let you cut my ties. My provisions or supplies, my activity provides. Everyone has a piece of the source inside. Body automatic drop, clandestine the way that they cannot. The villain is alive. He don't want me to survive. Put the poison in my pudding so my consciousness revive. Right before the angels of death had arrived. For the third of the 5 vows. In the face of defeat, never throwing towel. Generate the continuous flow just like a cash cow. Venerate the masses, not the person with the knowing how. Make no bones about the truth, declaring openly about danger of extinction, breaker of the institution. Now we all don't belong in the environment in which we are found. Look around at your own gravity, keeping you on the ground. We recycle the greatest weapon they use to keep us bound. Push it righteously, or push it the other way around. Killers locked in cages, cause food is the heart that boils down. Far more significant than stages, I put the soil down. It's hostile, yo, I'm fighting for my existence. Warfare, yes, I'm fighting for my existence. Volatile, as I'm fighting for my existence. Everywhere, I be fighting for my existence. Conflict, cause I'm fighting for my existence. I'm a convict, for fighting for my existence. Triumph, stay fighting for my existence. From the jump, I've been fighting for my existence. In the world of awareness, I am independent strategy. Never ask for pardon or permission from the majesty. I work tragically, impressed with the way I bring it so magically to signify my airspace, land, and sea. Carrying out the movement, stay above the canopy. Fighting in the era before writing for humanity. This is insanity, most people spit in vanity. And I'm so vulgar with it that my name should be profanity. Call me unmanly and say it's not woman to me. To represent the anarchy, I play with what they handed me. Bury me alive and I made it out single-handedly. Beat me on the way to prison ground, still standing, see. Still love my family even when they abandoned me. Streets branded me until my own existence stranded me. Never lacked directness in my speech. speech, yeah, that's the candid me. It's the reason why hip-hop lovers became a fan of me. It's classical conditioning, believe they listening. Lowering my probability and my positioning. But I'm still fighting for my freedom, everyday petitioning. Things you can't imagine in your mind, what I'm envisioning. Opposite of refined, let the prophecy unwind. What was left behind for mankind is undefined. When the earth, sun, and galactic equator align, never fall back, never fall behind. My existence, I'll be fighting for mine. Dispute, struggle, contest, aggress, oppose, compete, expose, fight, dispute, struggle, contest, aggress, oppose, compete, expose. This is hot style. Yo, I'm fighting for my existence. Warfare. Yes, I'm fighting for my existence. Volatile. As I'm fighting for my existence. Everywhere. I'll be fighting for my existence. Conflict. Cause I'm fighting for my existence. I'm a convict. For fighting for my existence. Triumph. Stay fighting for my existence. From the jump. I've been fighting for my existence. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my existence. Enlighten and eyes blind. Return of the divine. If you eliminate me, my entity is still free. Thriving and elevating. To rip mics on the daily. MC Nejma Shay. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my existence.
Welcome back to Brunch and Budget on Bonfire Radio. That was MC, activist, educator, all kinds of everything. Nejma Shay, an endangered species, and we have more endangered species. The many job having, it's like the many armed, the many armed, successful, working, blogging human.
Yes, Sherita Rankins of Busy Wife, Busy Life in the studio today, model, actress, host, director of finance at a nonprofit, and less than a year ago started her blog, Busy Wife, Busy Life.
I mean, we joking and all, but having a job and a family is tough enough. Having two jobs and a family is tough enough. Being a freelancer, which means you have your only family are jobs.
You have to love your jobs like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're all your babies.
Treat them well, they'll treat you well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about why you wanted to start the blog. What made you decide, okay, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to go all in? What was sort of a turning point for you?
So I'll give you a really short story. So I was part of the ad campaign for the Chevy Malibu when it launched in 2012 or 13, I believe, with Isaac Mizrahi. He came to my home. It was this whole huge video situation. He's wonderful. Oh my God. I got the job because I was, this busy, eco-friendly woman apparently, and I was like, I'm on the go. I'm on the go like the Chevy Malibu. I was like, I had to share my tips for being successful and being able to be productive. And I was thinking, I have all these great tips, and that's what made me think about starting the blog. But that was before I got married, and the wedding became my project.
Right, that is quite the project.
After I got married, I kind of went back to that idea, and I bought the domain name. Probably it was like 8 months before the blog actually launched. I thought, I was like, Busy Wife, Busy Life. That's me. And I was like, I'm sure it's
super catchy too.
I'm like, I'm sure it's gonna be gone. Nope. Bye. Like GoDaddy.com. Yeah. So I started to think, and it was the point where I realized that there were successful women who had a voice, who I saw. Then I was just like, I should be doing this. I should make a voice for myself. I'm always just the person. I'm the nameless person, I always say, because models, you don't really get recognized. You're in this ad. You're on this commercial, but no one knows.
You're just a face.
You're just, yes, I am mom number 1 with child number 2 buying a sweater, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I just always have felt like I've had an opinion. I'm very gregarious. I wanted to be able to put all of this knowledge that was floating around in my head down. So it was July when I actually started drafting posts for the blog. And, you have an idea of what you want to do, and then it ends up changing, of course.
Yeah.
It becomes this process of, and you kind of decide, what is the message, what is my focus, and that's the biggest thing, I think, when people start a blog. You have to know your focus. You can't, for me, unless you're just blogging about your life, then that's your focus, though, and your life may be very multifaceted. But if you're starting a blog about food, or about fashion, or about guitars, or whatever you love, you need to just make sure that you're focused, and that way people know what to expect when they come to your site. That you get the content that's going to be consistent week after week, or day after day, or however often you post. And so it was a little process of trying to find a schedule of how often I was going to post, because when you start off, you want to make sure that you launch the site with posts that people can read. It's not just like one thing. Here, I'm starting a blog. This is what I did today. Like, no. So I had like 9 posts when I started the blog, because I wanted people to be able to click through.
So you didn't start with just like that Hello World WordPress thing.
No.
You were like, I'm going to have things in there that people can continue to look at if they like the first thing they read.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got a graphic designer to design my logo and my banner. I worked with him. He was great. His name's Alex. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out Alex, graphic designer.
So he kind of like the logo determined my color scheme for the blog. You set things up, and I actually, so it was a process, because I started the blog on Squarespace. And then I which is a great service, a site for people to start websites. They make it very simple.
Yeah.
But then I realized that it didn't have the capabilities that I needed. So 1 month into launching the blog, I converted it to WordPress.
Wow. Okay.
Which is a big project to take on. When I don't code.
Right.
I'm not a coder.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, what am I doing? My husband's looking at me like I'm crazy, because I'm moving my site to a different platform. He's like, what? So
After a month.
After 1 month.
Yeah.
Because there were things I wanted to do, and I didn't know that I wanted to do these things, and I didn't know the site didn't allow me to do these things. So I moved it over to WordPress, and I think that's when I got my groove, because everything kind of just fell into place. I didn't spend so much time trying to make it work. It was working. I was like, oh, there's a plugin for that. Great. I can tweak this out. Oh, there's a plugin for that. Great. So my recipes, before they were just on a page. Now it's you can print them out. You can tweet them, just the recipes. So you use the tools that are available, and there's a big network of bloggers, tech support. You put a shout out there, hey, I'm having an issue. You go to forums, that kind of thing. I kind of use peers to kind of help me solve some problems.
Oh, wow.
Another resource that I use, Fiverr.
Fiverr,
yeah.
Fiverr.com.
Fiverr with 2 R's, right?
Yes,
I've seen that.
So Fiverr is an app, a site that it's on my 5 apps that I love, because it has allowed me to find help and get help. So I advertise on Fiverr. When I remember we talked about making money for the site. So I've monetized the blog a little bit through Fiverr, because I've put it out there that if you have a product or an app or a fashion tool or something that you want me to review, that you want me to put on the site, send it to me. If I like it, I'll have something good to say about it. I'll advertise it for you.
Yeah.
So that's created an income stream for me, and I only put things on the site that I like. I'm not, if it doesn't go, if it's crazy, because you get all kind of people that.
Oh, I'm sure. We're like, I have this crazy idea. Write about me.
Yeah, and I'm like, thank you, but no thank you. Good luck.
Another need to graceful way to say no kind of situation,
I get people
right?
like, here, put my prescription drug site on your.
It's like, did you look at my blog?
I'm not okay. Thank you, but no. So, it's been a process, and luckily, I feel like I've been fortunate enough, because I think the work that I put in when I started the blog, that it has gotten. It's been successful so far, and I feel like even though I'm only a year in and I have a ways to go, I feel like I'm being recognized. I'm on cocofab.com. That's a large African American site. I'm on their homepage actually I'm on every page of one of their sites that they love, so I'm at the bottom. So I get a lot of referral traffic from them. They found me very early on. They're like, I love the concept of your blog. We want to find a way to work with you. So that was a blessing. So things have all just kind of been falling into place. my local cocktail bar. Shout out to Ventry on Stone Street. My blog's actually in association with their Rosé Month. So I'm helping sponsor their Rosé Month. So yes,
cool.
$1 of every Rosé cobbler, which is the cocktail of the month. And the recipe for that is on my blog. Will go to the Alzheimer's Association. So it's a charity of my choice. So if you're on Stone Street, stop by Ventry, have a Rosé cobbler, and cheers to a good cause. Yes.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yes, get your rosé cobbler on Stone Street. That was a good rhyme,
Ventry.
too.
Yeah.
At Ventry.
Yes.
Oh man, I love it. So it sounds like some stuff you just have come to you.
Yes.
So like the Cocoa Fab stuff and then the Ventry stuff. How do you kind of keep people coming to your blog? What kinds of things do you do? What do you set up to make sure that you're constantly marketing it?
Well, you have to build, I find you have to build a community. And by doing that, I mean, in the very beginning, it's about working with other people, working with other brands, with other bloggers, with other stores. So, I have a jewelry store sponsor. They lend me pieces to shoot for my fashion post. They then, of course, because I'm featuring their collections, they want to tweet it out. They send it on their Facebook page. I worked with a designer called Gia Collection. She has
I love her.
She has reversible clothing, and it's like really cute stuff. So she sent me some pieces. I shot them when I was in Florida, and then of course she tweeted out, and then I would get guest posts. I worked with a brand called Up Mercer. They make they make workwear, affordable workwear. And then they were able to give me 5 tips for dressing for success in the office place. So it's about finding relationships with people. I want to inform my audience when I find a great product that's something that I feel like you need to know about.
Yeah.
I put it on the blog, and the company that I'm working with is happy to share because they want the press as well. So I think it's about really building relationships and bringing the attention of companies or products that are great, that are really going to help you in the beginning. Once your blog gets, I call it floating on its own, where it doesn't need to be pushed, it doesn't need any waves. Then it's word of mouth. People like things that other people like.
It's so true.
Popularity builds popularity.
Yeah.
So
do you feel like you're at that point where it's floating on its own?
I'm not floating yet. I'm still I've kind of left, there's no huge storm that's pushing me. There's little waves now. I'm on the ripple mode to where the waves are helping me through, but I'm not just floating on my own yet.
Yeah. So you're still getting those partnerships and the sponsorships.
Still trying to build the Busy Wife brand. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you use WordPress, and it sounds like that's kind of the practical way that you do the blog. What motivates you to do it on such a regular basis?
Well, I mean, with fashion, it's easy because things are always changing. Every season, there's something new and great. You want to show people trends and great outfits you put together. So when I get dressed, I'm like, this is cute. So
it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna blog post about it.
I'm gonna photograph about it. Or I'm gonna write about this. Or I may see celebrities wearing a certain trend. I just posted 5 ways to wear white this summer, and so I get motivated by what I see with regards to the fashion.
Yeah.
With regards to the food, I've been a foodie for a while. So anytime I have something yummy and delicious that I make or that I want to make and I'm going to try to make, or I see something, I'm like, I go out to eat. I have something delicious. I'm going to make that at home. And then so that food is pretty easy especially in New York because of the various cuisines that are available at restaurants. I try to cook a little bit of everything, a little Asian, a little Italian. I love my steaks, so grill a good steak. So I try to just touch on the different cuisines, international cuisines. So that's pretty easy. The finance can actually get a little difficult because
attention chefs out there, all of your training and experience are worth nothing. You can do everything you can do. Quit now. Your career is useless.
Just go to her blog.
Yeah. With the finance, it can get a little difficult because you want to share your knowledge, you want to help people save money, but people have very strong feelings about money. And they either are very happy to find ways to save, or they're depressed because they're in debt. So when I write my finance post, I'm trying to, it's either something that I've conquered, like finding a way to set a budget and get my spending under control, which I talk about in my 20 my mistakes, financial mistakes I made in my 20s. Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
I learned about
that sounds juicy.
Yeah, it was. So I as a 20-year-old, I thought that money. Not that I grew up very privileged per se. I've always worked.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like
You've always
I've
had it.
I've never had more than I really needed, I guess. I've never just sat around like, what should I spend my money on today? Like, no. But when I was in my 20s, I think that I was living a little more extravagantly than I probably should have. Like I thought Starbucks was a necessity. It is not.
It turns out.
It is apparently spending.
You heard it here first.
Apparently, spending $4 a day on coffee is not a necessity. Who would have thunk it? So, things like that. And just like, I used to go shopping and just try on stuff and like I said, this is cute, buy it. And then I get to the register. Then I see how much it costs. I didn't look at the actual price tag.
Oh, wow.
So little things like that. So now, I'm the queen of online shopping. I try to shop the deals, those kind of things. So just learning to find the things that I've overcome, and that's why I'm trying to share, because I see people make the same mistakes that I have, or I see them spending money, and I'm like, you could get this cheaper if you do it like this, or if you started saving, if you automate your savings first, right after you get paid, you don't have to try to save money at the end of the month when you're pretty much maybe out of it.
Yeah.
So little stuff like that, they're just tricks and trades that's what I really try to talk about in my finance post. It's money saving, it's productivity, it's ways to really get a handle on your money and find better ways to spend it, better ways to save it. So it's the tips that everyone can use, I find.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to relate to everyone, not just, those who may be financially savvy, but those who may be and just need a little help, and those who may be like, I just graduated from college, I'm making money, what do I do now?
Right.
So stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Because we spend a lot of time talking about the psychology of money and, having a money personality. And it sounds like that you're a recovering spender.
Mom, this is your fault. I know you're listening.
It's like, hi, I'm Sherita. I'm a recovering spender.
I'm a recovering spender. Yeah. Yes.
But I really like that you draw from your own experience to talk about this, because it's something that everybody has to deal with, and it's something that, people don't necessarily want to think about or don't know how to think about. Like, the food stuff and the fashion stuff is like, that's fun and that's great. How do you make the finance part all fit into it?
Well, yeah, I think it's, like I said, it's, and the thing is like, once you get your finances under control, you can, and you have that savings, you have that safety net, you have that retirement fund, you may have your investments. And once you have that control, then you can start spending more money on fashion and food.
Oh, there you go. So you can do what you want after that. You can
start set yourself up and then start financing your own life. Like, you finance your dream life. I think that's one of my goals. I want to have enough money so I can do the things that I love to do, which happens
now
to be
in the future.
Eating at fancy restaurants
and buying awesome clothes
and buying nice clothes. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We got to roll to a song right now.
Yeah, we're moving on to our next song.
We're moving
I wanted to
on.
mention real quick. I appreciate that when you were talking about your finance advice, that you don't give investment advice.
No,
because that's dangerous and
I don't
can
give
get folks in
investment
trouble.
advice. I don't give tax advice. I give tips to help you do your taxes.
Right. And it's stuff that's worked for you.
Yes.
Hear that, finance bloggers? Hear that, finance bloggers? You're listening. You know who I'm talking to. All right.
No, I mean, the reason that he mentions that is that we run into a lot of people who call themselves financial experts without necessarily being experts.
Yeah.
And so they're giving advice that maybe they heard somewhere, maybe they read somewhere, and it's like, did you try it? Do you actually know how to do it? And
right.
You're like, okay, I'm going to talk about what I've done.
What I know.
And you're going to be able to relate to people that way, which is fantastic.
I used to spend too much. I have to say that. And that's how I know how to save money.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people who are at that place where they're like, I spend too much. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good reminder that, blogging is generally about sharing our experience rather than being like instructional, I know everything types of peoples.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who well, I guess they do a little bit of everything and probably know that they don't know everything. We got Dessa from Doomtree. Dope MC from out of Minnesota, and she's going to drop some fighting fish for you. Brunch and Budget, Bonfire Radio. See you in a second.
Swimming in the snifter, pretty as a picture. Don't don't get it twisted, man, her bite is a bitch. You can name, you can keep her, but take care when you feed her. You never can take the fight out the fish. Chomping at the drill bit, never want to still sit. You can test my metal with a magnet and some tin snips. Ink test, all I see is canines and some wingtips. Pilot pin and pocket, I'm riding instinct and inkjets. Around here, we don't like talk of big dreams. To stand out is a pride that can see. To aim high is to make waves, to split seams. But that's not what it seems like to me. Cause I wanna try, I wanna risk. And I don't wanna walk, rather swing and miss. I'm not above apologies, but I don't ask permission. Got a lot of imperfections, but I don't care my ambition in them. Zeno zero, never hits the mark. It's always hanging there over its shadow. Say the battle, waste of art. Just time and trouble, waste of effort, waste of parts. If you don't aim for the center, it's a waste of the art. I didn't come looking for love. I didn't come to pick a fight. I didn't come to wave or take pictures. Pander to some benefactor, ring on every broken finger. Won't extend my wings to be clipped. I know the culture here is to stay humble with shit. If we all go around bowed heads button lips, if none of us go for the bell, then police. My mother says I love too many men, but I took and left something in every single bed. The rook can look left, right, just turns his head, but the night might rise up, investigate the grid. Gender, genre, guess I'm on one bed. Both just the constructs of the old world gone broke. Women, children, let me tell you, I've been both. And it's a myth, we all swim for the lifeboats. I didn't come looking for love. I didn't come to pick a fight. I come here every night to work. And you can grab an axe, man, or you can step aside. Zeno zero, never hits the mark. It's always hanging there over its shadow. Say the battle, waste of art. Just time and trouble, waste of effort, waste of parts. If you don't aim for the center, it's a waste of art. Self-taught, self-made bit, self-styled, self-saw, self-came, self-took island of converts to conquerors old school. We march them in Converse, just armed with their own tools. While my knees still flex, while my joints hold steady. Mind sharp, spawn straight, trucks laced ready. I travel by kite, travel light, at touchdown, I swallow the dice. I make my own luck now. Zero, zero, never hits the mark. It's always hanging there over its own shadow in the dark. Its own shadow in the dark.
We're back. That was Fightin' Fish by Dessa from Doomtree. This is Brunch and Budget, Bonfire Radio. We have our special guest, Sherita Rankins.
Hi there.
From Busy Wife, Busy Life. Teaching you how to be busy. Stop being bored.
I'm not teaching anyone how to be busy.
Right? That's what it is. How to get, like, because when most people, they get married, they don't have nothing to do, so that, they live
that how
lazy
it
lives
is?
with
Oh,
lazy
man.
wives, right?
Everyone should just get
Lazy
married.
wife, lazy life.
That's a whole other
Right?
blog.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We have talked about some awesome things. Check out Sherita's blog, BusyWifeBusyLife.com. We've talked about Sherita just started blogging less than a year ago. She's about to hit her year-long blogging anniversary, and she also models, is an actress, is a host, and is a director of finance at a nonprofit. She basically does it all, and somehow also finds time to come home at 7 p.m. to watch Jeopardy with her husband, which is beautiful. I love that. And shout out to Brent in the chat room who's saying, "Love it, go Sherita." Woo, shout out Brent. So I wanted to start, or I guess I wanted to end with, you're involved in a lot of things. Why do you feel like it's important to be doing all of these things versus just like picking one?
Well, I've always found that my mother's always taught me not to limit myself. Like if I have a passion or you have an interest and it's something that you seriously want to pursue, then go for it. Of course, you can't do, like I said, you can't be everywhere and you can't do everything. But if you find that this one area can complement another area, then there's no reason that you shouldn't try to do both of them, especially if it's something that can make you money, something that you find yourself being fulfilled from. That's what's most important. I do the things that I love to do, and they just happen to be things that I can make money from, that are sensible. You know, I mean, of
Yeah.
course, there was a point in time when I was trying to do too much. So I host. So I host. I used to host cooking segments for Stop and Shop grocery stores.
Oh,
I've done
cool,
Red
okay.
Carpet. I've been on Oxygen Network. But there was a time when I would get a hosting breakdown. Breakdown's when a job that's described. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, honey, I talked to my husband. Do you think I could host this golf tournament? He's like, no. Like, so that's the thing. So
Just
it's like,
say no.
right? Yeah, but it's like, so yes, you can't do everything. But it's deciding, like, finding your focus within what you love to do. So that was, that's the key. Finding
Yes.
the focus within what you love to do.
That's great because you do all of these things. So you know when we list the laundry list of things, but it all has to do with you love food, you love fashion,
Right.
and you want to help people with their financial
Yes.
lives. You know, so all of it is related, even though you're doing it in all of these different ways.
Exactly. They seem like they're just like shots on the map or darts or on
Yeah.
the wall, but they're really not, because it's it just happens that, I mean, like I said, I love cooking. So
Yeah.
when I was hosting my cooking segments, it was a great platform for me to cook and host. So it's finding things that overlap too. If you, like I said, if you love running, and maybe you can teach a running class at the
Yeah.
gym. So you find ways to make money as well. I mean, I know not that you should always be motivated by money, but let's just be honest. Smiling doesn't
Girls
pay.
gotta eat.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, walking down the street doesn't always pay the bills. So
You about to say smiling don't pay the bills,
Well,
but you model, so smiling does pay the
my
bills.
smiling pays my bills, but unfortunately, I've been fortunate enough to be blessed with a great smile. So I've been able to capitalize on that.
Yes.
So
I love it. I'm curious, just kind of going off topic, how have you found the modeling world in general, like the response? Because I feel like we hear all these horror stories about, oh, models are treated like objects and
Yes.
it's so hard to do it. And you're like, yes, actually,
no,
that's all
it
true.
is. So it was. I was just looking at this little interesting photo the other day, and it was like modeling, and it was like what my family think I do, what my family think I do, what I think I do, what my friends think I do, and there's all these photos.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, what my friends think I do, and it's like sitting on a pile of money, and like and what my parents think I do, it's like this cute little shot of, like, you know, like a little glamour shot kind of thing. And like what I actually do, or what I think I do, you know, there's a photo of a girl getting her makeup done very glamorously, and it says what I actually do, and it's a picture of girls basically sitting on the floor in a long hallway waiting to be called into the casting.
geez, yeah.
That's what happens.
Oh,
so
you guys get to sit. Actors have to stand.
we do get to sit. So that's the thing. So the modeling world, I was never a high fashion model. I'll be honest, even though I am thin, I am not that thin. I am not runway thin. I'm not high fashion
Isn't
thin.
that crazy?
It is. People
because
look
you
at
are
me.
definitely thin, and I'm like, and tall.
Yes, I am 5.
you're
I
not
am
thin
5'10".
enough.
I'm very slender, but I am actually probably 20 pounds over runway weight. And Pam is
Jeez.
shaking her head because she's
That's
looking
insane.
at me. And
Like, look up her
it's
picture,
like-
guys.
It's like where can I lose the weight? But apparently there are spots where I have fat, but other people do not. So, nonetheless, I've been fortunate enough to work in a more, I guess, easy section of modeling where I'm not scrutinized as much because
Yeah.
I do more commercial print modeling,
Oh, okay.
bridal,
Yeah.
hair, like those kind of things. So that's kind of a different world. There's like two worlds of modeling. There's the fashion modeling and then the commercial print modeling, where you're, as opposed to selling clothes or being in magazine ads in that way, I'm doing more catalog work where it's more relatable. I say the relatable side of modeling.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you look like a person.
Yeah, like the happy, like I get booked sometimes as the real person, even though like I don't
You're
even
like
know
the
what that
TV
means.
real person.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she's real and relatable, but she's not like just a regular person. I'm like, I don't even know. Like, it's this business is.
Oh my
It's a
gosh.
business, and you just have to kind of
Yeah.
go with it. And
Well, and I can imagine if it's all you did, like how depressing that would be for your like.
By the way, what does that mean as a business? Because people often say that when not business-like things are going down, and they go, it's a business.
well, modeling's not a hobby; it's a business. It's like you are the business.
Right,
you
you don't do it
you
for
have a
fun.
relationship with your agent. You have a relationship with your clients. Like, this is not just a wake up in the morning and you show up. Like, you create a rapport with people. You get the job sometimes because of the way you are on set. They liked working with you. They
Oh,
want to
that's
work with you
interesting.
again.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you have a relationship with these clients. They want to book you because they like you, which is what happens in business in real life. I want to work with this company company because they sell my products well.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. It's people don't look at it like that. I mean, you get a job, you have to pay commission to your agent. So it is a business. You're not. It's not just I showed up and they gave me money and then I left and I got free clothes. No, it does not work like that.
Right. If you want to keep modeling, it does not work like that.
So what you mean by that is because, other businesses are businesses that, like I do a thing, you do a thing, and then we're done. It sounds like what you're saying is that it's a difficult, it's a dangerous business. What is the distinction?
I guess I'm just, a lot of people just think that modeling is just this fun thing that people do. That there's no aspects that you really, it's not, that people don't realize that there are people behind the scenes that you're working with, that there's a network between the photographers, you have makeup artists. So it's not just, I guess it's not just a hobby. I guess I'm trying to say that it's not this casual thing that you can just do. It is your job. It is your business. So basically that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And you have to maintain relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not just like, oh, I'm pretty, so I'm going to show up and you're going to take pictures and then I'm going to leave.
You have to understand how things work, how you know what I mean, it's a business. Yeah.
Okay, I figured there's some subtext under there.
No.
Those of y'all who know stuff, tell me later about the subtext.
It sounds like the way you model, though, is like how, an average person, I guess, could model. It's not like the I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like not high finance, but the high fashion world where it's so extreme, and that's where I feel like the horror stories come from. It's like, you're... Yeah,
I mean, I do. I mean,
living.
I'm still running around all day. I still only have 5 castings in one day. A callback. I have a schedule to manage. It does get hectic at times, but at least I'm not as worried about staying a particular weight and having to get measured when I walk into the door. I mean, that used to be my life, but it's not anymore.
Oh my gosh, that would be so stressful.
It is.
You're like, ugh, done that, been there, done that. Oh my gosh. So, what are some? Since you do all of these things, what are some of your favorite productivity tips that you would share with other multiple hat freelancers?
Well, I try to capitalize on my idle time. I use my, I can say, especially those in New York, I use my train time to, I'm answering emails. I'm trying, and even though they're not going out, they're being drafted.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, I have little mini meetings with myself when I'm on the train. Like I have my notepad. I'm like, what do I need to do today? What have I done today? Who do you need to contact? What have you done? So just kind of taking that time as a checklist of yourself and see where you are and where you need to be in order to get everything that you want to get done in that day done.
Gotcha. So your idle time is never idle.
No, not. I guess not. So and when you put it like that, it's not.
Yes, don't be idle.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to be an idol? Don't be idle.
Yeah.
There you go. And what are some of your favorite tips on eating well and still being able to eat on a budget?
Okay, so I'll give you. This is where we have to wrap up. I'll give you some tips. So one tip is I buy in bulk a lot. I've learned to use my freezer, which it was not what I used to do. I used to go to the grocery store every single day.
Wow.
Because I wanted what was fresh. I was like, I want to get a piece of fresh fish. I want some fresh basil. So I still buy my herbs fresh, but it's like I try to buy in bulk and plan things out so it saves time
Freeze
as well.
meat. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It saves time and saves money because somehow when you buy 5 pieces of chicken, it's cheaper than when you buy one piece of chicken. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. So so things like that, and then I also have some money saving tips too. So I've learned. Like I said, I consider myself like the queen of online shopping, but I am a huge fan of the flash sale sites. So
like what? Like which ones?
Like Gilt. I shop at Gilt a
Okay,
lot.
cool.
I like quality clothing. I just don't like to pay the price that they like to charge for them.
Word to that.
So, I get 50% off.
Yeah.
I shop. You might have to shop often, but it's a great way to save money and still get some designer pieces. Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Well, unfortunately, we do have to wrap up, but thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Yes, those are some awesome tips. So mini meetings with yourself on the train.
Yeah.
If you want to stay productive, I love that. Yeah, because y'all can draft those emails on your iPhone, and then they send when there's signal.
Exactly.
It's like magical. Guild group and also buying in bulk.
Yes, those are great
Love
tips.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, and
you can
WordPress over Squarespace if you want to have a fancy blog.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yes.
You can follow me on Twitter at Sherita Janelle and follow my Instagram account for some great fashion posts as well. And
love it. And BusyWifeBusyLife.com.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Busy Wife, Busy Life, Sherita J. Rankins. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
We're going to finish off with one of my favorite ladies ever in the world, Yesterday, the Night Queen, Mama Wise, and she's got her joint Daughter of the Water. Brunch and Budget, Bonfire Radio. See you next week.
I'm a child of the Nile and my style be fitting me. The queen's in exile, but you can't get rid of me. Yesterday, the Night Queen, signs of life. Queen in exile, 1, 2. I was informed that I made no contribution to this land. So in your constitution, I'm 3/5 of a man. A college degree is needed for an underpaying job. Yet the government smuggles drugs in for the mob. Like babes are truly gifted, but they're shifted to special ed class and wind up dead last with graduation. Emancipation, the concept is a myth. 1949 Jim Crow, that's what me deal with. I want to be left alone, but Babylon is dragging on my progress with nonsense about fines. I don't have the time, I'm in an unknown land, trying to find my roots so I can relink with my innermost thoughts and pursuits. I'm surrounded by beings who have no vision. Seeing what I see, oh, that's a mystery. I remember when Mother Nature put cornrows in my hair. My father created peace and love for all the fams to share. Beans, yams, and wheat kept our bellies full, and our thoughts complete. We had no use for shoes on our feet. Beads hung from my neck as I cultivated my seeds. I harvested the herbs and the plants that I needed to make my face henna and keep the soil fertile. I pushed back the trees so the sun hit the turtle. When I walked barefoot, my crown flowed in elegance, symbolizing Africa when I rode my elephants. And my lions, they fortified my river Limpopo and guarded me safely to my trees of cacao. My history's a mystery my captors try to solve as I dissolve in their land of no resource. My discourse is uncivilized and computerized, but the Mama Wise gains new strength near death. Like venom entering my bloodstream from the asp, I gasp for my last reviving breath. As oxygen rushes to my brain, clairvoyance sets on my tongue. African chants take me back to where I came from. Passing through my organs with excruciating pain is the power I possess as it floods my veins, making me well enough to maintain my tribal rights. The ancestors bless me divine and genuine. So my captors, I know they saw my vision. They didn't bring me here just to study my position. They snatched me from my mama's nest like a helpless robin. Now I'm bobbing and weaving, still disbelieving this ordeal I'm in. And I recall the pitfalls and valleys. They let me dilly-dally and waste time and energy, acting like they a friend to me. So I fell for those dreams, schemes, and plots. Got intricate as time elapsed. Perhaps it was just a setup, so I get fed up. But I've been through much worse, so the verse continues. Simbo Masaya, Ela Ela. I'm a child of the Nile and my style be fitting me. Queen's in exile, but you can't get rid of me. Child of the Nile and my style be fitting me. The Queen's in exile, the Queen's in exile.